Negotiators in Cairo have been unable to reach agreement for a permanent long-term ceasefire between the Israelis and Hamas. The United Nations Mideast envoy says ending the blockade of Gaza is a major security need. CCTV's Liling joins us live from UN headquarters in New York. And Liling, the Security Council heard from the top Middle East envoy. What's the latest there?
Well, the latest is, of course, the 24-hour extension to the ceasefire that comes really in the nick of time and raises a little bit of hope that the talks in Cairo can lead toward a more permanent peace accord. Now, there are still some sticking points here over Israel's calls for the demilitarization of Gaza, but also over Hamas's demands for the end to that 7-year blockade. Now, Egypt, which is brokering these talks, made the announcement of that extension just within an hour before the previous ceasefire was to expire. And the news no doubt comes as a relief to the United Nations Security Council, which heard from its Mideast peace envoy Robert Seri on the urgent need for a long-term solution.
As the fate of the truce in Gaza hangs in the balance, UN Middle East peace envoy Robert Seri stressed the importance of a continued ceasefire.
It is essential that the guns remain silent to allow civilians to resume the necessities of their daily lives and to allow for increased humanitarian early recovery efforts, addressing the manifold needs of the people in Gaza.
In his briefing to the Security Council, Seri said the 5-day ceasefire has brought reprieve, but it took too much time and too many lives to achieve. More than 2,000 people have been killed and hundreds of thousands of civilians displaced during the devastating month-long war. Calling this conflict the biggest crisis he has faced on the job, Seri urged for a sustainable solution that addresses the issue of governance and reconstruction and the return of a legitimate Palestinian Authority to Gaza. He stressed that rebuilding is a priority with more than 16,000 homes destroyed. The United Nations wants to allow a steady flow of building materials to help rebuild Gaza without threatening Israel's security, a move that would also improve trust among the two sides.
The basic equation must consist of ending the blockade on Gaza and addressing Israel's legitimate security concerns.
Seri added that the UN must not leave Gaza in the condition it was in before this latest escalation, when restrictions on goods and people fueled instability and insecurity. Mike?
Liling, we know that the talks continuing there in Cairo, but there's still talk of a draft resolution there at the UN as well, which is under consideration. Where does that stand?
Well, at this moment, it does appear that this remains as just talk. The negotiations are ongoing over this draft resolution that has kind of been in play for about 2 weeks now. And council members are still negotiating over its wording, but also over its timing. Some council members feel that the council should allow these talks in Cairo to play out before the UN takes any action. But others appear to have been frustrated at the lack of stronger action from the council and worry that perhaps the council has missed its chance to push for or encourage a ceasefire. Now, either way, the negotiations will likely continue as long as the talks in Egypt are ongoing, and we're not expecting any type of a decision or a vote in the immediate future.